Hello and welcome back to another One Piece video. So today I have Charlotte Pudding for you guys. Honestly, she isn't as bad as I thought. Obviously, she folds to the pressure of aggro decks like Bello Betty and Zuro counter her pretty hard. But she does really well into most of the Luffy decks. So like blue purple Luffy, obviously she counters pretty hard, and then grape Luffy, she has a pretty good matchup. You just have to find your Linlins, honestly. And then like purple Luffy and black purple Luffy, if you're able to steal away there first, you can have a really good time, but if not, it's not the end of the world either. So basically the point of the deck is to ramp as consistently as possible, so that's why I have the 4 brulees and then also 2 to die fors. I found that if you aren't able to double ramp, you're not gonna be able to 10 mom turn 4 super consistently, and so that's why I have Brule and It's to Die For in here. Also, we have 12 searchers to make sure that we find some sort of ramp, and then I also added in the Hiyori, just because Hiyori is really good as a replacement for Katakuri if you don't have him on turn 6 or on your 6th dawn turn. And yeah, she's just like also a 2k if you already have Katakuri, so that's super nice. So I decided to play the yellow Katakuri as well, just because some games you're gonna find that you need some utility in your mid game. So like if you're not able to ramp to 10 dawn, you're gonna be stuck at like an awkward 8 or 9 dawn. And so Katakuri helps you just like get rid of any annoying bodies. For example, if you're going up against Luffy's, you can put their important bodies at the bottom of their life. So that would be like Sanji and Pudding, the new beer Luffy, and like anything like that. And then also, because we're running the 3 brulees that you can just get for free out of life, he can also just heal any of your smaller bodies. I usually heal with one of our searchers or Brule if we get lucky with her. But yeah, that's why he's in the deck. And then obviously we're just going to be running the 10 cost Linlin and the purple Katakuri, because I think this card is absolutely broken. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck. Let's just hop over to some gameplay. Okay, so first game I got for you guys, we're going to be going up against blue purple Luffy. And then obviously the whole reason why Charlotte Pudding is relevant in this format is because she is a really good counter to blue purple Luffy here, and I'm going to show you exactly why that's the case. So we do have a form of ramp in the form of Katakuri, and then also thanks to our double searchers, we're able to set up for next turn as well. So if he doesn't hit into our life, we can then use It's to Die For to ramp anyways. But if he does hit into life, then this Katakuri is going to help us double ramp here. So I think 6, obviously we're just going to be taking this one, just because we do want to be able to use our Katakuri to ramp, and then followed by our leader ability. And then now we have 2 Linlins in hand, and we're going to be at 10 dawn next turn. And especially with the Linlin coming up as well, we should be really good to start taking over this game. And it's really lucky for us because blue purple Luffy, honestly, as a 3 life leader, you really only need to drop 2 Linlins for the most part, just because these Linlins are going to be able to rip his life. And then in the early stages, when you're swinging like 6 and 7s, he's probably going to take at least one of these before his 8 dawn turn. And so I start off with a 5k swing into a Zoro. He actually gives us a 2k, just going to take advantage of that, swinging in another 7 into that 4. Yeah, I know he was already at 8 dawn, but I wanted to make sure that when we're swinging into his Luffy there, he didn't just get like a free Gear 2 event off. Instead, I wanted to get some value out of our swings there. And so I dropped the Big Mom. Even though he has a Bon Clay on board, that Bon Clay is only going to be able to be useful for 1 swing. And so, yeah, if he wants to kill our Katakuri, that's totally fine with me. Good thing for us is that we have the pudding to answer the Bond Clay there. And then also if he wants to defend with his Katakuri, I'm just going to be slamming the Lin into that Katakuri. So yeah, attacking 5 into the 1. Doesn't block with the Katakuri here. And then I just swing 12 with another Lin. And he should be able to Katakuri block and Gum Gum, I imagine. Yeah, so here he's able to defend his Katakuri, but it is absolutely insane. He pitched his only counter in hand. Obviously, the writing was on the wall at this point in the game, but yeah, he was just absolutely bricked up. And then next turn, us having like another Katakuri and another Lin. You can see why pudding is just so overwhelming for Blue Purple Luffy here. Okay, so next game I got for you guys, we're going to be going up against Purple Luffy. And this Purple Luffy match, we're actually forced to go second here. And so I wanted to highlight what the game plan would look like if you're forced to go second. And so luckily for us, we did find 2 of our triggers, or 2 of our searchers there. And being able to hit this lucky trigger with the Brulee is exactly why I like to run this card. And then it's to die for, also allowing us to double ramp for the turn. It's just super nice, right? So next turn we should be able to drop the Katakuri down, and then the following turn it's just going to be 10 moms over and over. So here, taking a 5, probably just going to give him this Kid Katakuri. Yeah, just because I think in the later stages of the game, yes, we could have played down the Kid Katakuri to be more Dawn efficient. But since we have the big moms lined up, like we have a big mom in hand and we have a big mom in life, I think it's just much more important to try to play those down as much as you can instead of trying to be Dawn efficient with like a Katakuri and a large swing play. And so yeah, I'm just gonna be taking the 7 here. I'm trying to use the Katakuri as much as possible, and so obviously any free block I get, we're gonna be taking those. And then 5 at lead, he decides not to take that one. Pretty smart on him, just because at this point in the game, especially with Lin in our hand, you don't want to be taking these free 5k swings. And then yeah, Lin already adding a lot of pressure to our opponent, being able to heal up 1, but also putting him down to 1 as well. So swinging a 6 at lead, I'm just going to be countering that one. And then I take the next one just because I don't want to counter too hard yet, just because if he swings with his Luffy here and I defend with the Katakuri, I want to make sure that we still have a 2 and a 1 to defend, like from his leader swing, or if he puts down like a rush Luffy. But he actually plays down the Lin here, and then actually healing us with the Brulee. So what that means is that yes, he'll be able to attack more, but since that Brulee has a trigger of just being played out anyways, it essentially just healed us for free there. So now I'm just going for board because there's no way for us to really lethal him, especially with the amount of cards he has in hand. And so I swing in 8 into 6 here, and then I swing in 12 into his Zoro Joro, just because I know he has a Gum Gum in hand, and so I don't want to give him a free Gum Gum and 1k to the Luffy Taro. Now I'm forcing him to decide if he really wants these bodies on board, which he really needs to close out the game. He's gonna have to give us a lot of counter for that. And so the 5k swing, I believe I just take this one. Yeah, because the first couple doesn't really matter too much. We have so many threats on board that I'm really not afraid of dying. Just gonna be taking this as well. Yeah, especially at 9 Dawn, he's not going to be able to make any like Nika plays or anything. But what he will be able to do is play down a Linlin and then try to heal, but with only one card left in hand, all we had to do was just break his board, play down another Katakuri, or even play down another Linlin just because he has life for us to trash. It's pretty much wraps at this point, right? So, okay, and for the last game of the video, we're going to be going up against an old friend here, Enel. So Enel, obviously, you need to know how to beat this leader. The matchup is pretty much 50-50. It's just how you play around his leader ability that makes all the difference. And we were lucky enough to get first in this matchup, and so I wanted to go ahead and ramp as much as possible, obviously. And then luckily for us, we have a searcher in life. We found the event searcher as well, and we have Big Mom ready for our 10 Dawn turn. And so here, he tries to starve us here, which is really good on him, just because thanks to him not swinging into us, we're not able to double ramp, and we're not able to play down this Linlin next turn. But it's totally fine with us, just because I'm totally fine just playing like Katakuri and then waiting for the late game for us to drop the Big Moms. And so yeah, he actually uses the Red Hawk there to get rid of our jump blocker. I'm totally fine with that. And then obviously just gonna be taking these lives just because I know that there's a searcher in there. And we're just gonna be trying to abuse this Linlin as much as possible. And so here I swing in 5 at lead. Oh, sorry, we were able to play the Linlin anyways. I forgot because we played the It's to Die For early on. So yeah, able to play Linlin on curve here. So swinging in 7. We're just going to be saving our Katakuri here just because the most important thing in any Enel matchup is board tempo. And as soon as you lose your board, that's when you start really losing the game. And so that's why when he's swinging into our life, just feel free to take it. We're going to heal it back anyways. And then, if he swings into your bodies, that's when you really start countering. And so he actually takes that 5k swing there. And so I just take advantage, playing down the Linlin, and then forcing him to either heal this turn or we're just going to go in for lethal, right? And so here, we're probably just going to let this Katakuri go. I know I said you want to have board presence this matchup, but wasting that much counter for a 7k body is just not worth it. And so here, let's just swing in 13 into 11, probably. And then giving him another 13 into 11. If he defended out of that, I would have swung another 13 into 11 with the pudding. Instead of playing down the Katakuri there. And then obviously, since we only had one swing left and no way to put him to 0, I'm just not going to swing into his life there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. As you can see, this deck does really well if it has enough time to ramp up and doesn't get pressured too hard. So like obviously when you're going up against like more control matchups or more ramp matchups, I just think that Charlotte Pudding's top end is just much more valuable than other decks' top ends. And then as long as you're not getting pressured down by like Zuro or Bello Betty, this deck actually has a pretty good time into a lot of the format. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.